You've done an enormous amount in the area of reconciliation, and it's a big part of Broad Spectrum's future. Can you tell us a little bit about how you've gone about the reconciliation journey and how you think about reconciliation in the future?
So Broad Spectrum has worked hard over a long time to understand what's the best way to approach reconciliation. And we've done it with our Reconciliation Action Plan, which is now at an elevate status, which is quite rare for a services company of our nature and our breadth. We see our key successes a lot around, we're building an organisation where it's safe to work in terms of Indigenous people, and that's demonstrated by some of the statistics where we have up to 6% of our Australian workforce is Indigenous related.
I think you're further advanced on this journey than we have been, but nonetheless, I think we're totally committed to it. And importantly, when we think about some of the things that have come out of our Reconciliation Action Plan, we had the situation this year for the yarning circles. And these yarning circles brought together really important people in our communities, not just Aboriginal leaders, but business leaders together in our organisation. And what we started to talk about was the respect factor. And we learnt so much, for example, the third space. And I think it's a great metaphor for what's happening with Ventia and Broad Spectrum and coming together. And we talked about the third space, where you think about two circles that are independent, the Indigenous way of life and then the Western way of life. And when they start to cross over, you get that third space. It's the common way of life. And I think it behoves us to think a little bit about what we can learn from this marvellous long heritage and common heritage that we have in Australia. And we also have the same in the Maori in New Zealand. And we start to think about how we bring the best of both better together, the third space. And so I think the Reconciliation Action Plan is an outcome of really what we believe in and who we are as people and how we listen to our histories, our stories, and the Indigenous cultures in both Australia and New Zealand.